Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 2 of the PMRL Racing League 4th season here at Iowa Speedway. We are here for the first oval event of the season around the 7/8 of a mile D-shaped oval. It's also the venue where IndyCar in real life will be hosting a real life doubleheader. 2 races on the same weekend, of course. We are kicking it off here in PMRL here tonight for the first oval event of this season. As you can see the track right here, it's a short oval, as I said, 7/8 of a mile. 4 turns banked at 12 to 14 degrees progressive, which means the first lane is banked at 12 degrees, the second lane, the middle of the track at 13 degrees, and then the top of the track, the top line is at 14 degrees. Then the banking on the front straight is 10 degrees, aka the main straight, and then the back straight, which you see a car at the top of the screen drive on, that is 4 degrees. So short oval, difficult to pass on with all the dirty air involved, but overall, over a long run, this is going to be a very exciting race with a pit speed limit of 40 miles per hour, 64 kilometers per hour. Of course, the track length I already covered twice. 1.4 kilometers is that in miles. Push to pass, not available on the ovals. We only use that on the road and street courses. So, car is currently out on track for warm-up, as we are getting ready to go here for this first oval event of the season. Before we dive into points and stuff, let's quickly take a look at the schedule. Of course, last week we ran at Fuji Speedway in Japan, which was won by Will Lyon, who led an SMS Racing 1-2 home with Daniel Dinsdale in second, and Sam Blackwood, who rounded off the podium there last week. Who will it be tonight? We will only find out when the time progresses. Then next week we go to Imola, of course with tonight Iowa. Then we have 2 weeks off for admin vacations before we return for the Triple Crown races at Indianapolis on the 17th of August. The 24th we go to Mid-Ohio, then Michigan, the second Triple Crown race before another week off for all the drivers to come to a rest, and then the final 2 races at Pocono, the final Triple Crown round, and the season finale at Road America, which is going to be an interesting race. I can tell you that much, with the fuel tanks and stuff, the strategy involved there. But before we go cover the warm-up session, let's take a look at the driver standings, which is basically the race results from last week, apart from a few bonus points here and there for some drivers. Will Lyon leads it by 4 points over Daniel Dinsdale, as I said, a 1-2 finish for the SMS Racing team last week. Sam Blackwood sits in third with 40 points. Then we got Leo Garibaldi and Eric O'Connor rounding off the top 5, only 1 point separating those 2 drivers. Then the rest of the top 10 are Ike, Harker, Ehrman, Levine and Naslund, and of course all the rest of the drivers. Then taking a quick look at the team's points, which is led by SMS Racing with their 1-2 last week by 22 over OCM Racing, 89 Motorsports in the 3rd position. Only 3 points behind is Indy Alliance Racing with Team Talent, with Andreas Ike, their only driver, in the 5th position for the team's championship. And then the second IR team is also tied with Andreas, his Team Talent there on the 5th position. So that's the championship standings going into this race. We are now going to cover the warm-up session, which has about 5 minutes left, and after that we will be going into the race. So currently Garibaldi is fastest in the warm-up session. This is the final practice before we take the green flag in the race, and you can see those times very close together, the top 18, top 19 within 1.1 seconds. Some drivers probably running in traffic, which means slower lap times, but overall lap times here are super similar. And which will bring me to the following. I did work on some of the overlays, so hopefully it all works. But here is the qualifying results. And this is where I pray, and there we go, we got it working. We got all the team names there, or most of them anyway, to show up on the overlay. So it's going to be Jesper Ehrman and Connie Naslund for Indy Alliance Racing on the front row. That's the starting grid here, which we're going through. Cesar Cabrera starts from 3rd. Only 22 thousandths of a second behind. As I said, very close lap times here. Andreas Ike on the outside of row 2. Matthias Kraus and Brendan Robinson on row 3. Then we've got Christian Flacker and Sam Blackwood on the 4th row. Taylor Mills and Eric O'Connor on row 5. Row 6 is going to be Jabarillo Garcia and Seb Alexander. Then Leo Garibaldi in 13th. Xavier Heredia in 14th. Will Lyon, championship leader, not as experienced on the oval, starts all the way down in 15th. Joshua Tucker starts in 16th. He won the Super Speedway Series race in VOR at Atlanta the other day. Sven van Canel and Carlos Espada round off the top 18. Now let's take a look if we can scroll down for the final cars on the starting grid. We got Pablo Schofer in 19th, Sam Moyle 20th, and then Angel Ponce and Thomas Klessens on row 11. Then we got Manuel Gomez Esteban, the final starter here in P23. Of course, all the rest of the people on the results are admins. So that is the starting order for today's race, or tonight's race I should say. So let's take another look at the track for one final time before we go green. Of course, the track located in Newton, Iowa, the home of the IndyCar doubleheader weekend this weekend in real life. 4 turns banked at 12 to 14 degrees progressive, 10 degrees down the front straight, 4 down the back. Pit lane speed 40 miles per hour, 64 kilometers per hour. Track length 0.875 miles, 3/4 of a mile, 1.4 kilometers. No push to pass on this oval, and the winner last season shouldn't go unmentioned, Alexis Newsom, who also started from the pole, so that just shows how much of a track position race this really is. If you didn't watch that race, by the way, it was a great one, apart from a few broadcast issues, but it was a great one to watch. So if you have nothing better to do after the race, this race of course, then feel free to go watch it back last season. Hopefully we will see more of the same tonight. So before we go green, want to go look at the weather as well. You can see the track temperature 26 degrees, air temperature 25. So very cool. Should promote some more racing here today. It is possible to run side by side here as well. The outside line should have the momentum of the corners. Of course, the inside of the track, the low line, excuse me, is the shorter way around. So when you add it all up, it should be more or less the same lap times that you run. So it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on that. Of course, tire wear is also going to be very crucial here today. So 1 minute left in the warm-up session. Leo Garibaldi still leads it in terms of lap times by 23 thousandths of a second over Eric O'Connor. Hope everybody's doing okay with the EU heatwave, by the way. I know I'm sweating again, just like last week. It's 26 degrees right now, right here, where I am, in the Netherlands. It was 34 degrees today. It's still very humid. Oh, I just looked at the weather app on my phone. It's 69% humidity. Nice. So yeah, it's gonna be an exhausting broadcast. I can't imagine how the drivers are feeling right now. They have to hold the wheel, turn left all the time. It's much harder than it sounds. You work up quite a sweat when driving and also when talking into a microphone. So bear with me as I try to pull through this one, but we're gonna be okay, just like last week. Anyways, switching over into the race session. And we will be doing 180 laps around Iowa Speedway today. So, before we take the green flag, let's walk through the starting order for the final time as well. We got Jesper Urman and Conny Naslund on the front row for Indy Alliance Racing. Row 2, Cesar Caber, Andreas Eich, Matthias Kraus and Brandon Robinson, row 3. Christian Flaker and Sam Blackwood on row 4, Taylor Mills, Eric O'Connor row 5. Then we got Jalberilla Garcia, Sepp Alexander, Leo Garibaldi, Xavier Heredia, Will Lyon, championship leader in 15th, Joshua Tucker 16th, Sven von Canel, and then Carlos Espada in row 9. Then we got Pablo Schofer, Sam Moyle, Angel Ponce, and Thomas Kletsens and Manuel Gomez Esteban, the final starter of the race. Jessica Saban, 24th. She's an admin, so she won't be taking the green flag today. But here we go for the first oval of the season. Second time we are running here in PMRL history. Passing is going to be tricky, but we're going to be in for a great race with all strategies involved. You're going to see some drivers save fuel. You're going to see some drivers go for it to try and go to the front, get track position. And then the tire wear and tire management is going to be oh so crucial in this too, as we will be doing 180 laps here in this race. As we track the pace car, going through 3 and 4, we have 2 pace laps here around this short oval. It's also known as IndyCar's bull ring, by the way, that's the nickname. And it sure is one. Look for people to make aggressive moves early on to try and get track position. Before we take the green flag though, want to quickly get something out of the way. Of course, Voppzy iRacing Paints is a partner of the PMRL. Vilda does these amazing iRacing paints for Indy cars and also sports cars and GT3 cars and much more. As you can see right here on the slideshow, you can check it out on Instagram by following her, and the username is Voppzy lowercase iRacing. That's where you can check it all out, and also send Vilda a DM if you want a paint scheme done for your car. But pace car and the field making their way down the backstretch for the final pace lap of 2, as I mentioned. We got 23 cars with us here tonight, so it's going to be an action-packed race here for sure. It's Indy Alliance Racing on the front row. The oval specialists once again showing what they're made of. They're not Swedes at the front though. Actually, Jesper Öhman is a Swedish driver, so he's going to keep that streak alive on the ovals in the PMRL. But anyway, pace cars off. We are underway for the first oval event of the season. Oh, already a car on the wall there. Not sure who that is, we're going to find out in just a second, but we already got lap 1 completed. As Jesper Öhman leads from Conny Nassert and Andreas Eidt as a top 3. Got 1 car falling back through the field, that's Pablo Schofer. He actually started last, or close to last, and it's already moved up some spots, but lost those again. I think it was Brandon Robertson that just hit the wall on the exit of turn 4 a lap ago. He is all the way down in 13th now, lost 7 positions off the line. And just like that, we're already on lap number 4 as we go side by side with Brandon Robinson, and I think that is Joshua Tucker on the inside. Oh, we're going 4 wide into turn 1, that's always a good idea. Of course it's not. Tucker on the inside there of, gotta find out who that is, Sam Moyle. And gets by. Then we also got, I believe that is Sam Black. We're going around the outside there of Flaker. Losing another spot here to Garibaldi. It's the other way around, sorry, Garibaldi losing a spot to Flaker. As Leo has a look to the inside again, and that's 1 car running all the way up top. That is Taylor Mills. And of course, the top line here at Iowa is where the most momentum is at. And usually, because all the cars try to drive the shortest way around, that's also where the clean air is up top. So you're going to see a lot of drivers do that here tonight to try and protect the tires, protect the car overall, which sounds weird because you're running closer to the wall, but it really does help you with tire performance as well after you get through the degradation phase in the run. Got Andreas Eidt up in the P3 for Team Talent, their only driver. He moved up 1 spot, sees a Gabriel down 1. He's about to lose another spot here to Matthias Kraus, as he's working on the number 70 from Brazil. Sees a slice back up in front though, so he maintains P4 for now. As Blackwood is going side by side now with Taylor Mills for position. And Taylor is still running that high line, which Sam has to be careful of, that he doesn't burn up his tires. Of course, the track is quite cool, but because this track is so short, running that tighter line really does hurt the tires, as you're basically putting more energy into them, trying to make the corner. And just like that, Taylor just drives off the corner like Sam basically doesn't exist. Oh, as Sam cuts in front of Leo, I think that was, at the bottom of the track, but Sam, with a bad run through turns 1 and 2, loses a position to Sam Blackwood as he moves up into P6. Oh, Taylor is so close to the wall, and Sam so close to Taylor, as Taylor with the momentum again passes Sam. Leo having a look to the inside of Sam now. And Sam doing the same thing that Taylor is doing, but Sam's got the dirty air of Taylor though, so the high line won't be as effective as it is for the 41 just ahead. I think it will still be better though than the low line. And yes it is, pulls clear again. So clean and green from the start. No real incident yet apart from that little wall tap by Brendan Robinson, who is into the pits by the way. Already down 2 laps. So probably called it a day already, or at least getting some big repair jobs done. As Sam again going to the inside now of another car. That is Leo Garibaldi on the high side now, pulling by. So Sam falling back a little bit after that initial position gain of 2 at the start. Speaking of position gains, by the way, Leo Garibaldi currently the biggest mover in the field, up 6 spots. Made it 7 now as he's working on Sam. Oh, Leo! That was close. Oh my goodness, what a save off of turn 2. That's something I didn't talk about yet, but there's a little bump and debanking transition, of course, falling away from you in turn 2. So that makes it really difficult when you're running a tighter line to keep the car under control, which Leo Garibaldi just found out firsthand. But still underway, or under green I should say. Luckily for Leo he caught the car. Could have been a very nasty incident there. Could have taken out Taylor as well. But those two are still going side by side. And look at the gap to the front of the field. The top 5 already 2.7 seconds away from them. As Taylor really is slowing down this pack behind. As Christian Flaker is now getting passed by Eric O'Connor on the high side there with all the momentum. Just look at him fly by like that. That's just how easy it is with all the momentum on the high side. Oh, Christian, gotta be careful to not come down like that. As Seb Alexander also trying to get a position. And it seems like Christian's learned from what Eric just did a lap ago to him. He's on the high side now getting the momentum of the corner, and Seb Alexander is going to check up a little bit. Will lie into the high side now. Championship leader making his way forwards in this race. Up in the P11 now as he gets by Seb. Up 4 spots. So doing a good job so far is the SMS Racing driver. As we follow him here. Now Will is one of the drivers that doesn't necessarily drive the ovals too often. I do know that he's with IAR now in the Open Series, so he will be doing it a lot more than he might have been used to. But still, Will definitely not as experienced on the ovals like some other drivers, as he is once again losing a position now. Actually, let me correct myself. He is now working on Christian Lopez Flaker, trying to get himself into the top 10. But Flaker with the momentum on the high side again pulls by. You're gonna hear me say that a lot of times here tonight. Simply because it's such an important factor around Iowa. Just the momentum game, what you're really playing with all your opponents is just so critical to get the results out of the car here around Iowa Speedway. But Leo Garibaldi up into P6. He's also gained 7 spots. Definitely doing a solid job right now. One of the lower iRacing drivers in the field at 1.8k. And speaking of iRacing, the highest one in the session, if I can read properly, and I think I just did, so it's 5.4k for Jesper Ehrman. He was involved in a lap 1 incident last week at Fuji, so good to see him rebound so far, out in the lead, 26 laps in, he's led all 26 of them. As he's already approaching lap traffic, and I think that is Angel Akanji's Ponche in the 96, and yes it is. Jesper going to the inside, putting a lap on the 96 car. as Manuel Gomez Esteban is up next. And Manuel is one of the drivers last week where there might have been something to say about. Sam Blackwood almost killed himself there on Manuel, but luckily nothing really happened between those two. Sam was able to continue and secure that podium that he was after. Alright, Jesper approaching Manuel Gomez now. Shouldn't be too difficult to get by. I don't think Manuel will really fight this too hard. Jesper to the inside there. Should take the position, or should lap Manuel, I should say, into turn 1, which he does. So no real fight put up there by Manuel, as Sam Moyle going side by side with Joshua Tucker for P17. This is. And Sam, I think, getting by Joshua right here. But Joshua gonna come back on the inside though. And actually pulls clear again of Sam, which is interesting. On that low line, it has to be said as well. So good move by Joshua Tucker for Team Watson Racing in this series with the Let's Race sponsorship. And I have a t-shirt coming my way with the Let's Race logo on it, hopefully. But Let's Race is a special events community on iRacing. They just host some fun races from time to time where you can win a t-shirt and some cash prizes as well. And Joshua is one of the people behind that. So if you want to know more, contact Joshua about it. Speaking of communities, by the way, if you want to be a part of the PMRL, there is a Discord link in the description of the broadcast. If you want to join the league and race with these guys, you can join the Discord, sign up, and as early as next week at Imola, you could be on the field, or on the grid, I should say, in this field, going at it with the likes of Will Lyon and Jesper Ehrman, the best of the best in PMRL at least, and some of the other leagues around there. Definitely a few front runners, or front runners in a few of those, I should say. I'm losing my English here. It's too hot in the country today. Oh well, it happens. Alright, let's go look through the field, and just as I say that, we got the first yellow flag of the race. First caution, which is going to neutralize the field. I'm not sure where the yellow is for. Maybe if I go back just a little bit, I can find it. It's Andreas Eich that we're following, and it's Brandon Robinson, I think it is. Got out of the pits with a damaged race car and just lost it out of turn 2, I think he did. Let's see if we can find what happened to him. Down the back straight. This is the lap before, so it happens the next lap. It's around Manuel Gomez Esteban. Not sure if he had something to do with it, I don't think so. It might have been the bump and the banking transition off of turn 2. Not seeing anything yet. In the meantime though, we got half the field going into the pits. Alright, just waiting for the incident to happen. I'm not sure when exactly it does. I think it's going to be right here actually. All the way down on the bottom line. It still doesn't happen, I don't know where it is. Hello? Alright, let's go a little bit further, maybe we can find it here. There it is, on the transition, just like I predicted. Lost the car, nothing you can really do there, especially with a damaged car from when he hit the wall earlier. That's going to be day done for Brandon probably, as the field exits pit road. Now we do have a few people that stayed out. And that is the top 6. Connie Naslund stayed out, Leo Garibaldi stayed out, Christian Lopez-Flaker stayed out, as well as Jabarilla Garcia, Thomas Klessens, Pablo Chauffeur. That's the top 6. They all stayed out to try and gain track position, which is very interesting. We are already 38 laps on the green into this fuel stint. There is 100% fuel tank, so I'd say you're going around 65 laps 65 to 70 laps. So these people are probably banking on another caution in the next 25 or 30 laps. Really doesn't need to be later than that, or they're going to be lapped. But interesting pit strategy by the top 6. Just as I say that, Pablo Schofer pits. So made that the top 5 that stayed out. Schofer probably decided, I don't think this is a good idea, so I'm going to pit. Now that we are under caution though, I quickly want to look at Brandon Robinson's incident there when he took the green. Let's see what happened there. It happened on the end of lap 1, so let's follow Robinson through the first lap. Started from P6. Through 3 and 4, and there it is, the aero push kicks in. Way more than Robinson anticipated, and boom. That is suspension damage on the right front, which took a few minutes to repair for Robinson. He was back out again, but of course, like we just saw, spun again out of turn 2. Which probably means that the day is done for him. Anyways, we still got 1.5 laps of pacing left, so in the meantime, let's take a quick look at the slideshow once again for Voppzy iRacing paints. You can check it out on Instagram, Voppzy lowercase iRacing. Wilde does these amazing iRacing paints for many different cars on iRacing. So check it out, Voppzy lowercase iRacing on Instagram. Getting word that we might be having some weather coming in real life here. So if you hear anything in the background, it's probably some thunder and lightning going on. Appreciate all 11 viewers in the chat, by the way. Hope you are all enjoying the show, as Leo Garibaldi also pits with 1 lap to green. So he bails out as well of that strategy by staying out. And I think he got a close pit exit, so he has to wait for the entire field to go by. Which happens right about now. Which means that he can now rejoin the field at the tail end of the lead lap. So this will mean that Leo will be able to go the longest on this green flag stint. But the top 3 now, stayed out. The rest of the top 6 that stayed out initially, they all pitted. So the top 3 on old tires, everybody else behind on new tires. Connie Naslund, second car in line. The race leader. As there was a lapped car in between, apparently leading us to the green flag. But Connie right down to the inside, trying to lap. I think that is Carlos Espada, and yes it is. Manuel Gomez Esteban also in the mix right there. Those 2 people are lapped down already. So Christian Lopez now working on the 42 of Espada, trying to put a lap on him, which he does. So now he can try and get by Manuel and then chase Connie Naslund again. But going in the midfield, a lot of action right here, 2 or 3 wide even into turns 1, 2 and 3. As Will Lyon is right in the middle of that, we're going 4 wide into turn 1. As it is Sam Blackwood on the outside, Eric O'Connor on the inside, the 2 teammates for OCM Racing. Sam, at the moment, coming out on top of that battle. On the high side with the momentum. Gets that position, moves himself up into P8. Thomas Klessens also moves up into 17th. I just saw it in the corner of my eye. Sven van Canel trying to put a move on Seb Alexander in front, who is also working on Taylor Mills. For the 11th position this battle is. As Manuel goes to the high side, lets the field by. Ooh, bit close, too close for comfort there with Jesper Orman. But gets by. Heard a car in the wall, might have been in net contact with the wall there. We'll wait for official word to see or hear if anything happened there. Doesn't look like it at the moment. Oh, look at this gaggle of cars. too wide into turn 1 with Manuel Gomez involved. Still, he's a lap down, letting the field go, and that's really causing the field to bunch up. As Gilberto Garcia battling Eric O'Connor for P8. Eric and Will both on the move, as Will also gets by Gel Barillo for P9, as we have another yellow, and that is a lap car that's Carlos Espada around with heavy damage to that car. Alright, let's see if we can find what happened in just a little bit. Gotta look up that incident. Let's scroll down. That's another downside of such a short track. Of course, it's great for racing, but there's so many things happening at the same time that the session events is just a huge list that you need to scroll down to find something. But here we go with Carlos Espada. And there appears to be some netcode contact there. I'm not sure who that is. Trying to figure out who it is that was involved. A little difficult to figure this one out. Alright, let's have a look. And it's already happened here. Oh boy, how am I gonna figure this one out? Alright, let's go a little bit further back. That's where it happens. Not much you can really do when you get hit up the rear like that. Probably some suspension damage already. Yeah, not really able to tell who that is that hit him there, but definitely a very unfortunate racing deal there. And actually, just as I say that, it's Cesar Cabro that was involved. So let's take a look at it from Caesar's angle. On the inside here. Now, like I said, it's probably some net code, and boom, right there. The contact happens, and Caesar also with damage. So the top 3 that stayed out at the last restart, they all pitted now. So Jesper Ehrman is back in the lead with Christian Lopez Flaker in second, Andreas Eich in third. Then we've got Kraus Blackwood who round off the top 5. Alright, 53 laps into this first oval race of the season. Jesper Ehrman started from the pole, still, oh well, he's back where he started. Of course, he lost a few positions under the last pit sequence, but he is back there. Seen some great racing so far tonight. Like I said, it is multi-groove racing around this 7/8 of a mile oval. IndyCar's boring, as it is also known. The bottom line is the shortest way around, but the high line is the highest banked and also where the clean air is. So that's going to be the name of the game, how you can manage the tires, manage the dirty air, and the tire temperatures too, by the way, it has to be said. That's probably more important than tire wear. So still not getting word that we are going green, so this might be an extended yellow. Which will give us just a second to talk about the remainder of the schedule for this season. Just as I said, that the lights on the pace car go out, so once we cover the schedule we'll be going back to green flag racing. But of course tonight we are at Iowa for race 2 of the season. Next week we will be going to Imola for, I believe, the second time in league history on the 27th. Then we have 2 weeks off until we return on the 17th of August for Indianapolis, as we have a voice crack too, that's great. Mid-Ohio on the 24th of August, Michigan International Speedway on the 31st of August, Indianapolis and Michigan, 2 Triple Crown races by the way. Then another Triple Crown race, the final one at Pocono on the 14th of September after another week off. And then the final race of the season at Road America. So here we go, 55 laps complete, or about to be completed, as the pace car will come in again at the end of this lap, and the field in control of Jesper Ehrman will be going back to green flag racing. And here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
As we got Andreas Ay going straight down the inside now of Christian Lopez, and Matthias Kruijs also going by there. We're going 3 wide off of turn 2. That's actually gonna work. Wow. Okay, so Blackwood now going side by side with Matthias Kruijs for P3. Matthias up into the top 3 now as well, up 2 spots from the start of the race. Eric O'Connor up 6, moves by Sam Blackwood. So Sam again on that inside line, losing all those positions. Sam though up into the high groove now, so should be okay in terms of car positioning. Just as I say that, he goes low again. As Joshua Tucker again racing with another car, that is Sven von Canel. Oh, that's actually Sven just in front of Thomas Klessens in the wall. Oh, and Taylor Mills nowhere to go.
The yellow flag is
And that's
out.
the third caution, sorry, of the day. Oh my God, what was that? That right in front of Taylor Mills just exploded there on the front straight. But that's 2 more casualties of the evening. And Taylor's day is done, I can tell you that much. No point trying to get it to work. Yeah, literally nowhere to go for Taylor on the high side there. That's just so tough. And look at that. I don't know what happened there, but the complete right side of the car just exploded. Alright, let's see if we can find it here on the onboard of Taylor. See what happened here. Look at this, the suspension on the right, boom. Right about now. Hello? Boink! There it goes. I've never seen that before, that's amazing. Oh man. So a third of the way in. And we're already down a few cars, only 17 cars, sorry, on the lead lap. As we got Flaker, Garcia, Heredia, Chauffeur all in the pits, as well as Taylor Mills, but Taylor's day is done for sure. Like you just saw, the complete right side of the car completely destroyed. So Taylor won't be going back out today, I can guarantee you. Something I should also mention, by the way, of course we've always been talking about Vilda doing these iRacing paints, but there's something else that she does for just the league, which we should probably start to appreciate some more on the air as well. Just make sure I got the audio muted, because this is the pre-stream slideshow that I usually use, and it should be muted. If it's not, I apologize, but look at these pictures. This is what Vilda does for the league itself, which is also what's used on the thumbnails. And she's been doing this since the start of the league, and honestly, one of the best photographers on iRacing, it has to be said. And I think Jessica's very lucky to have Vilda make these for the PMRL. So yeah, that's what she does also Of course, like usual, the iRacing paints as well. If you want something done for your car, your team, whatever, on iRacing, Vilda's Instagram is the place to be, Voppzy lowercase iRacing, where she will also showcase more liveries, not just these ones. She has plenty and plenty more, countless more actually. Alright, let's take a quick look at the pit cycles. So the top 7 all pitted on lap 38 under the last yellow. Then we got Leo Garibaldi, who pitted at the end of the last yellow, or the first yellow I should say, lap 41. Then we got a few more people on lap 38, Sven van Canel, Joshua Tucker and Sam Moyle. Then Cesar Cabral pitted on lap 53, 10 laps ago. Connie Nazo lap 51, and then we got Flaker, Garcia, Heredia and Chauffeur, and and Chauffeur, they all pitted on lap 60. So the people that pitted on lap 38, including the race leader Jesper Orman, they will have to come into the pits a lot earlier than, say, the people around them, or just behind them I should say. Everybody 14th on back, they can go a lot longer is what I'm trying to say. So they gotta be careful there, the front runners, to not fall into that trap, because if a yellow falls, right when they need to pit, they're screwed, because they're gonna lose 2 laps around this track, because of the track's length. It's only 7/8 of a mile, so yeah, 1 + 1 is not that difficult if you're going around 185 miles per hour around a lap, and you're standing still for 25-30 seconds, well, you're going to be down 2 laps. Anyway, pace car off and away again for the 3rd time. We are underway at Iowa Speedway for round 2 of the season. Jesper with a nice jump again. Let's see what Eric O'Connor can do on this restart. Up 6 spots in the race. Gets a good run on Matthias Kraus there. Picks up the draft. Gonna look for the clear on the high side, which he does. Should get a nice run off the corner. Closes up again into turns 1 and 2. Again running the high side. But I think Matthias just turned up the track and then down again in just the right moment to really mess up the air for Eric there. So good air management, I guess you could say, for Matthias Kraus. As Will Lyon continues to move up the field as well. Up 9 spots in the P6. Remember that he started 15th in this race. Not an oval specialist by any means, but definitely getting better at it. Actually, he's the biggest mover in the field right now. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but he is. As Sam on the high side, losing some time compared to Will, as he's going to the inside of Eric now. And does a slide job on Eric, but loses out again on the corner exit. Eric straight back to the inside, and Will gonna try to follow him through as well. So Sam gonna lose 2 positions if he doesn't look out. Will on the low side doesn't get any run off the corner there as Sam brushes the wall. Oh, I need a drink. Always remember to stay hydrated during the hot days. It's even hotter in the UK, I heard. As we seem to have some issues with SDK Gaming again. We had this last week as well. I'm not sure what's happening. Just give me 1 second to reload the overlays as quickly as I can. I apologize for this. It's out of my control though. The only thing that I can do is restart the entire program, which I will do. Do, 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 do. And we should be back. There we are. Alright, let's get back into it then. Cesar Cabrel on the move, just got by Sven van Canal into P10. Still going side by side actually, those two. As we have the speedometer on the screen as well. Climbing up the speed charge into almost 300 kilometers per hour territory there. 277 through turns 3 and 4 for Cabrel. 309 into turn 1, so definitely not slow speeds here around Iowa Speedway. As Jesper Orman has a 1.2 second lead out in the lead over Andreas Eich, who has a 5/10 lead gap to Kraus. And O'Connor still in that 4th position. Got Sam Blackwood though just behind. He seems to have picked up the pace again. Struggled a little bit ago. But now all the way up on the top. Gonna try to get a good line going. And try to put the pressure on Eric O'Connor just up ahead. We got Will Lyon just behind though. And also Leo Garibaldi going to the inside now with Will. Let's see if he can pull this off. The 2-3 cars just in front are actually driving the high lines, so when Leo goes down he actually gets clean air on the wing. But just as I was going to say that, Leo will cut down to the inside to give some dirty air to Leo, which will give him nowhere to really go, and you can see the effects of that right away as Will puts on the pressure on Sam now. Oh. Probably a good idea to get the overlays on the broadcast as well. I apologize for that too. Didn't want to have frozen overlays on the broadcast, that's why. As Sam Blackwood now loses out on Leo Garibaldi, drops to 7th. So lost 2 positions in the space of 2 laps. Let's go back and see how and when it all happened. So going into turns 1 and 2, Sam all the way on the top side, like we just said as well. Definitely going to extreme lengths, I guess you could say. Trying to find that clean air. But Will all the way down at the bottom line. Simply with the clean air able to pull by, and then Leo I think is going to do the same here into turn 1. With Sam all the way up on the top. And we'll slide just in front of Sam here, which will leave nowhere to go for Sam. And, loses those 2 spots. But here we go, green flag pit stops. Leo Garibaldi going to be the first one to do so here tonight, after 3 yellows. So lap 87, and the 89 is in. Let's see where he will rejoin in relation to the leaders. Of course, the leaders still need to pit, but if you don't lose 2 laps, you could actually be in an advantage. Which actually will bring me to the following point too. The undercut around Iowa Speedway can be really powerful, but it also puts you in that danger zone where the NBC guys always talk about. If you pit now, you're going to be 2 laps down. Yes, you're going to be faster, but if a yellow were to come out right now, your race is done. You're never going to recover from that. It's almost impossible to make up a lap on pure speed. It's next to impossible to do that even. So yes, if you get the undercut and you make it work, you're going to lose. You're not going to lose anything. You're actually going to gain quite some time. Of course, you're going to lose that again at the end of the stint because you pitted earlier. But it is definitely a way to gain some positions. But what I'm trying to say is it's extremely risky. But we will just have to wait and see if it pays off for him. Hello? I'm not sure why we're getting these cameras from Espada in the pits. Oh well. So Jesper Ullmann not really pulling away. It's only a very slight lap time advantage that he has on Andreas Eich. It's less than 200ths of a second a lap at least. But the gap now 1.6 seconds between the top two. Will Lyon up in the P4. Of course, we just saw Leo pit, who was just in front of Will. Actually working on one car. I'm not sure who it is. Is it Sam? I don't think it is. Anyway, we've got a battle side by side though between Eric O'Connor and Seb Alexander. But Seb just came out on top on that one. Moves himself up into P6. Eric down into 7th. So Eric with the biggest move for about 20 laps ago slips down to 7th now. So probably ate up his tires a little bit too early on in the stint as we have a car up in the wall trying to figure out who it is. Hello? Hello? Can we find out who it is? Yo!
The yellow flag.
There we go. It's Pablo Chauffeur. It took me a while, but we got it. It's a fourth caution out of the day. It's really strange how iRacing waited for the yellow to come out. It's making it quite difficult to catch it as well. As Pablo is trying to limp it back to the pits. Not sure that's a good idea though, but that's a different story. It's already happened here. It's contact with Sam Blackwood. So going down the front straight, remember that Pablo is a lap down. Sam trying to make a move to the inside, actually netcode clips Pablo there, and that contact sent Pablo right up into the wall, and yeah, there's no way to get out of that wall now. The suspension on the right side is completely destroyed, also on the left, on the rear, because of that netcode contact. There was an actual physical contact between Blackwood and Chauffeur. It's the connection issues on iRacing that's caused that, so very unfortunate for Pablo. And that's probably day done, or at least a good few minutes of repairs on that car, the 88. But the entire field making their way down pit road now, except for Christian Flaker and Jalbarilla Garcia. Everybody pitted for fresh tires and fuel. And these guys might be going for leading a lap, which will give you a bonus point in the championship standings. Alright, whilst we're on the yellow, let's do a quick through the field, because why not? So let's start with the race leader. Christian Lopez Flaker. He's one of two drivers that stayed out under the yellow, so he will lead a lap, which will give him some bonus points as well. And Jalbarilla Garcia just behind. From Spain, both of those two. I think they're both racing for Team Matzinger, but they are split up into two teams because of the team limit. Then we've got Jesper Ullmann, who started from the pole in P3. He is the first car in line that pitted. Andreas Eich in 4th, having a good run so far. He is still where he qualified, and the same for Matthias Kraus. Will Lyon started 15th, up into 6th. Seb Alexander just behind Will in 7th, up 5 spots from where he started in the race. Sam Blackwood still in 8th. Then we got Eric O'Connor up 1 spot, Joshua Tucker up 6. Then we got the first losers in this race. Cesar Cabrel down 8. He started in 3rd, Connie Naslund in 12th, 10 spots lost. Sven van Canel 4 spots gained. Sam Moyle 6 gained, started 20th, up into 14th now. Xavier Heredia down 1 spot in 15th. Leo Garibaldi down 3 in 16th. Then we got Angel Alcanyi Sponchit up 4 spots into P17. Chauffeur up 1 spot into 18th. Manuel Gomez Esteban up 4 in 19th. And then Espada rounds off the top 20, down 2. Then of course Robinson and Mills in 21st and 22nd. They both had incidents with, let's say, terminal damage to their cars. Taylor Mills with the right side of the car completely exploding on the front straight, which I hope will make one of the pictures of Vildas. And Thomas Klessens, I don't think, took the green flag even. So that is your through the field, as we are over halfway in. Didn't even realize that until now. So 76 laps to go when we cross the line. Field will be led by Flaker up in the lead. Leading us back to the green. Pace cars off.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are back on the way at Iowa Speedway. Seb Alexander having a look to the inside of Will Lyon now. Will leaving some space on the inside just to make sure that he protects his car. And Sam now to the high side there. Seb tried to make a move, went to the bottom, lost all the momentum, and now the dirty air of Will ahead too is really going to cost him, as Sam around the outside now going to make the position and get up into P7, that is. As he also gets by Will, who's going to come back on the inside here. But Sam with the momentum gets that position sealed. Matthias Kraus taking a look to the inside as well on Eich. Those two staying in line as well. And everybody behind not really making as many moves as I thought they would be. I thought we would see a lot more overtaking on the restarts than we are seeing right now. And just as I say that, it is Sven van Canel and Sam Moyle going at it. I think it is. No, it's not. Oh, as we have the first incident, that's Sam Blackwood involved. Spinning to the inside of the front straight. And I don't mean to state the obvious, but his day is done. Eric O'Connor also involved. So I think there was contact between those two. They were around each other, I'm pretty sure. So let's see what happened to the 27. And it's actually contact with Will Lyon there, which sends Sam up into the wall again, and Eric on the high side nowhere to go, and everybody on the front straight trying to avoid it. Alright, let's see. Will slides up the track. Oh, actually Sam lost it on his own. I completely miscalled that one. Sam lost it on his own. Probably too much weight jacker in the car. And then boom, Eric nowhere to go, just like Taylor Mills had in that incident with, I think it was Brendan Robinson, down the front straight. And yeah, both cars definitely done for today, and also everybody around doing a great job to avoid it. Look at, I think that's Connie Nutlin going around there. Oh, actually just brushes the wall. That's unfortunate. Would have been a great save otherwise. But we are down 2 more cars as Sam Moyle skates through the grass, does some nice bunny hopping. Hopefully no damage to the undertray of the car, but Jesper Orman now back in the lead with 70 laps to go in what is the 5th caution of the day now. The cautions on the top left incorrect because I had to reload the overlays. Thank you SDK Gaming for that, by the way. So yeah, last season, Alexis Newsom started from the pole, led the most laps and took the win. It's looking like it's going to be a similar result. Back then, Alexis drove for Indy Alliance Racing as well, and it's an Indy Alliance Racing driver up front again here today. Hopefully for Jesper he can pull it off. Needs those good results on the ovals to keep his championship hopes alive. As his roles compared to Will Lyon are the complete opposite. Will is great on the road courses, of course, dominates most of those, and not so great on the ovals, but definitely getting better. And then we've got Jesper, who is great on the ovals, getting better on the road courses. So it's kind of balanced, but of course on the ovals the luck factor is a little bit higher than it is on the road courses, which is more, dare I say it, talent based. Not that ovals don't take any talent, of course, but let's be real, braking, turning and getting all your apexes right is a lot more difficult than turning left. Alright, so we got one more lap of pacing. 2 laps I should say. We will get the 1 to green next time by, I think. But Jesper pitted at the end of lap 99, which is with 81 laps to go, which is outside of the fuel window. Now, here is going to be the interesting thing. We got a few people, Christian Lopez Flaker, Jabrilla Garcia, they pitted on lap 110, which is with 70 laps to go. You're going around a 7/8 of a mile oval, around 1 liter a lap that you're burning. The fuel tanks for this race, 100%, which is 70 liters. You do the math, I think it's going to be very close for them to make it. With a just very minimal saving, they should be able to make it, especially when they're in traffic. I think they will get the number anyway. So, scrap what I just said, they will be good to go to the end if there is no more yellows. Everybody else, they have to pit. So, if this race stays green, after this restart, those two could be in a very, very good position to win this race. If there is another yellow, then we're gonna be talking about the great topic again of when does the yellow fall, who pitted, who hasn't pitted when the yellow falls, who's gonna be down 2 laps. So many unknowns still with 66 laps to go now. But one thing that we do know for sure, the entire top 10 still yet to pit for the final time. So let's see what's going to happen on the restart. Will they keep it clean and green to the end? Or will we see some more yellows? Time will tell. So Jesper Ormer once again will lead us to the green flag. Andreas Eik in second, Matthias Kraus third.
Green flag, green flag.
And here we go again. Will Lyon straight to the outside line, trying to get the run on Matthias Kraus. Not able to do so. Seb Alexander, not with a good run out of turn 2. Sees a K-roll right behind, going to try to take advantage. To the inside. Pulls clear for now, but with the momentum on the high side, I'm not sure if Caesar can actually clear him. And there we go, the understeer. The arrow push kicking in for Caesar. Seb driving straight around the outside again, as Joshua Tucker also has a look. But not much more than that, as Jesper Orman just lights up the timing screens with the fastest first and second sectors of this track. As Seb Alexander, again having a look on Will Lyon. Will cuts down to the inside to give the dirty air to Seb, which will open the door again for Caesar Cabrel. Actually clears Seb right now. Gotta move up though, gotta move up just before the corner exit, which he does. And now that's the position gained for Cesar Cabral up in the P5. Solid move there by the Brazilian in the 70 car. And everybody else going single file, so the battle for position really is happening right here. As Cesar Cabral just moved in front of Will Lyon too, on the outside line now, definitely paying off, and he is now up in the P4, getting past the championship leader. And now he can set sail for the top 3. Of course, all these guys pitted on lap 99, so they will not be good to go to the end. And I think they know it too, because they're certainly driving like it. Definitely getting a move on. Sven van Canel on the high side there, trying to work on Joshua Tucker on the inside. Not sure who that is just behind those two. I'm trying to figure out. It's Leo Garibaldi. He's a lap down though, I think. Yes, he is in P13. Joshua now moves to the high line. Trying to protect P7 from Sven van Canel. Cesar not really gaining anything on the top 3 ahead, which is surprising. The air for Cesar definitely a lot cleaner than, say, the top 3 has. And actually, just ignore what I said, I didn't see the lap car getting involved there. So now the clean air is in Cesar Cabral's hands. So you can start closing the gap to the top 3. That is Connie Naslund losing a lap again, down 12. Of course, was involved in that incident with Sam Blackwood down the front straight. Gap down to 2 seconds again, so already closed in around half a second on Matthias Kraus. Well, say Matthias. I'm Dutch, I can pronounce his name in the way it should be. Matthias Kraus. I'm gonna try to work on that, but speaking of working on something, Will Lyon on Seb Alexander on the outside now. It's all about getting the best run you can off the corner to try and clear the car that's on the inside, and at the same time trying to make the car on the inside burn up the tyres. But Seb, with a nice run out of the final corner, actually clears Will again on that low line, which is very impressive. Didn't really expect to see that. But Seb still in the top 5 and making it work for the time being. Sam Moyle up in the P9, up 11 spots from qualifying. He's one of the drivers moving up the field very nicely indeed, and same can really be said for Will Lyon, Joshua Tucker, Sven van Canel, all 3 of those up 9 spots. Jesper Orman driving away from the rest of the field. 1.7 seconds is the gap to Andreas Eich. As Joshua Tucker gets by Will Lyon, so Will falling back, probably some tyre overheating or tyre wear issues. But Joshua moving up the field nicely, up 10 spots now. Sven van Canel also having a look on the inside of Will now. Maybe Will even hit the wall at some point. That could be the case too, because he's definitely losing a lot of time right now, as even the cars on the inside line are clearing Will off the corner. So definitely something that isn't right for the number 1, the reigning series champion. Or he could also be saving fuel, which I don't think he needs to do per se, because he's gonna have to pit anyway, which I will give you guys an update on right now too. The 2 that stayed, that actually pitted, sorry, on lap 110, they are good to go. They can stay out until the end. They don't have to pit again. Christian Lopez Flaker and Jalberilla Garcia, 11th and 12th still. They didn't gain anything. but they are still on the lead lap, so that's all that they need to do. They can go the distance, and I think they know that too, which is why you don't see them fight that hard. And I'm gonna check in on them right now as well and have a little listen. They might just be taking it easy, trying to protect the tires too for the end of the race. Definitely not seeing that much wheel input there on the steering wheel too, so saving the tires, saving the car for the end of the race when it matters. Staying on the lead lap is all that's important at this stage in the race. When the top 10 ahead all come into the pits, they will be up 2 laps on them when they eventually come into the pits, at least, which when I take a look will be in around 25 to 30 laps. So yeah, Will Lyon though definitely slipping back. Let's go back a little bit further. This was the move that Joshua Tucker put on. Will just in front, Joshua to the inside, clears him without too much difficulty. And then just a little bit later as well, Sven van Canel to the inside of the same part of the track into turn 1. Same move. Took him a little bit longer though down the back straight, but eventually cleared Will Lyon as well. And Sam Moyle a lap later too. Same spot again, all happening in turn 1, that is, on the inside. And Xavier Heredia also made a move on Will. With the momentum on the high side there, cutting to the inside now. And again, relative ease to pass the 1 car. And now Will under pressure from Flaker, who is the first car that pitted. So gotta be careful there if you're Flaker, that you don't make any mistake racing Will. Of course, Will also knows that they don't have to pit again. So will you fight this, will you not? I'm not exactly sure on what to say about that one, but shouldn't make it easy for sure. It's Flaker on the outside now, trying to look for that clean air, cuts to the inside again. But not really getting any momentum on Will. But Will's definitely down on speed. It has to be some damage to the car, because the amount of time that he loses at the end of the straightaways is just way too much for the car not to be wounded. And here we go, Christian to the inside now. Should actually be able to clear him now, if he stays on the inside here, which he does. And there we go. Alright, Joshua Tucker 2 seconds behind Seb Alexander. That gap has been closing in very slowly between those two, as Lyon and Flake is still going at it. Flake is going to be careful though that he doesn't burn up his tires, because that's exactly what Will is doing right now. Will on the outside line and Flake on the inside puts a lot more stress on those Firestones. But I think the battle for position is done right now, as Flaker is well in front of Will now. Hold on a second. Jabarilla Garcia has just been put down a few laps ago. And Will Lyon now, the last car on the lead lap. Jesper Urman right behind. Those two are unofficially teammates, of course, will racing for IAR in the Open Series. I don't think he will make this too difficult for Jesper, which he doesn't, just moves out of the way nicely. So Christian Lopez now, the final car on the lead lap with 30 laps to go. If I am Flaker, I'm going to try to defend from Jesper Ehrman. Yes, this is not a fight for position, but if you go down a lap and a caution comes out, you're going to be messed up and out disadvantaged on your own strategy. If you don't lose that lap, if a yellow comes out, you're golden. You're going to be up in the lead when everybody else pits. And from then, you should be able to drive it to the end. So, if I'm Flaker, I'm trying to hold on as best as I can to that lead lap. Because the pit cycle is only a handful of laps away. And actually, as I say that, Joshua Tucker is going to kick us off here on lap 154. 25 laps to go across the line. There he is. Stops in his pit stall. Car goes up the jacks, takes tires and fuel to go the distance. 25 laps to go, as I said. And he is off and away again. And like I said, he's going to lose 2 laps under green. Leader should go by any second now. And there is Jesper right there out of turn 2. So Tucker losing 2 laps compared to where he was on the edge of the lead lap. So actually he's going to be scored 3 laps down now. But now he will have the undercut on the rest of the people around him, so he can make up some spots. Let's see how much he can gain. We haven't really seen too much green flag pit stops actually play out the way they should. Of course, the pit cycles all got broken up by a yellow after a handful of laps. So this will probably be the first one where we will actually see how powerful the undercut is. But I can tell you, it is so overpowered around this place. You're going to lose 2 or 3 seconds, probably every 4 or 5 laps, even if you stay out. So that's just how significant it is. 2 seconds on a lap where you're going 180 miles per hour. You're going 17 seconds here every time, every lap. If you all add it up, well, I really don't think I need to explain how much you can gain. And just look how much time Joshua's getting on the cars ahead. Just gotta find the clean air to get by. On the high side now, Joshua gonna go by on Flaker, I believe that is on the inside. And now catches up to Ehrman as well, as he's gonna try to get a lap back. Tucker is. Ehrman on the high side there, and it's not Angel on the inside, it's somebody else. It's difficult to tell. But Joshua making a move to the inside on race leader Jesper Ehrman right now. As Sam Moyle blocks that move off with the air. So Jesper again around the outside. But Joshua's got to make this move fast if he wants to have this tire advantage pay off for him as he gets by Sam Moyle. There we go, Cesar Cabral next car in. In the 70 car from Brazil. Pitting from P4. Has a great run going. Hopefully for him he can nail this pit sequence and maybe even come away with the podium. He's pitting earlier than the people around him, so do him an undercut again on those people too, as we have 17 laps to go. So Jesper will be coming in the next 5 laps, I would imagine, for just a splash of fuel. Caesar off and away, which will now leave the top 5 on the lead lap. And Joshua going into turn 1. Caesar going through turn 4 right now. And remember that Joshua was down a lap almost on Cesar Cabral when the pit cycle started. So that just shows again. That's proof right there of how powerful that undercut is. Let's see how much Caesar can gain. I would imagine he can actually get up into the podium spots. Hell, maybe even win the race. I don't know. We'll see. 14 to go. Honestly, if Jesper can save the field to go the distance, I'm gonna be so impressed. I don't think it's possible though to do 80 laps around Iowa. Alright, Caesar on Leo Garibaldi. A lapped car, shouldn't be too difficult to get by him. Caesar on the inside though, gotta make that move quickly. He's not really helping himself by not using that draft to its full effect, but either way, gets by on the exit of turn 2. Still no sign of the leaders on pit road at least, so curious to see whether they can make it or not. I really don't think they can. Surely not. Let's go for a quick listen with the race leader and pole sitter, Jesper Ullman. Still shifting, but low RPMs. These engines go to 12,500 RPMs. And he's about 1,000 under that, so probably running map 5 or even map 8 to try and get to the fuel number. Big lift there, but that's probably due to the dirty air too. As we have 7 laps to go at the line, Andreas Eich going side by side with Matthias Kraus, battle for position. P2 is on the line between those two. Andreas on the outside, Matthias on the inside. Matthias trying to make that move to get up a spot. Andreas trying to hold on to it. Jesper though with a 6-second lead over Andreas Eich. Matthias to the inside here. Doesn't lose out as much as I thought he would on the exit of the corner, as Cesar Cabrel on the high side now goes by. Remember though that he's a lap down compared to those guys. 2 laps down even. Because he had to pit. But 5 laps to go for Jesper Ullman, and are we talking about an Alex Rossi story here around Iowa at least? It's a little different setting, but can he make it on fuel? He's pulling away from the people behind him as Heredia now loses a position to Christian Lopez. Up into 6th. But 3 laps to go for Jesper Ullman, and I think he's gonna make it. I don't know how he can pull this off, how the top 4 can pull this off. They all pitted on lap 99 for the last time. I think Jesper's definitely off song. Not even getting out of 5th gear, but white flag is out for Jesper Ullman. He is gonna go 82 laps on a fuel tank around Iowa, which is just incredible. But Jesper Ullman started from the pole, stretched the fuel to the absolute limit, managed the traffic well, and just gonna make his way through turn 4 here, and he will win the 2nd race of the season around Iowa Speedway, and he makes it on fuel. As Andreas Eich will come home in 2nd, also makes the fuel work, just like Matthias Kraus. Just comes up short on that 2nd spot, but still a podium result for him is very much welcome. For the entire top 3, it has to be said. Just a great result for all of those guys. Seb Alexander up 8 spots into 4th. Sven von Kennel finishes in P5, up 12 spots from qualifying. Same for Sam Moore in 8th, by the way. But Christian Flaker 6th. Will Lyon still finishes in 7th despite damage. Garcia 9th. And Heredia rounds off the top 10 with Cabrel finishing 11th. Gotta say he's probably a little disappointed. But Jesper wins, probably didn't have enough fuel for the donuts. For Indy Alliance Racing, he wins race 2 at Iowa. So let's take a look at the race results. Jesper Ullman wins it by 8.6 over Andreas Eich for Team Talent. Then Matthias Kraus for AES Sim Racing Swice in the 3rd position. 9.6 behind the winner. Then 17 seconds almost put down a lap. Seb Alexander, also for Indy Alliance Racing. Then we got Sven von Canel, the first car, a lap down in 5th. Flaker in 6th, Lyons 7th, Sam Moyle 8th. Then we got Garcia and Heredia, the final 2 cars on 1 lap down. Then we got 2 laps down for Cabrel and Tucker. Solid results for them, probably a little disappointed though, due to their fuel numbers not really being able to go the distance. But Leo Garibaldi finishes 13th. He hit the wall, I think once or twice in the race, so finishes 3 laps down. Angel Ponce in 14th, Connie Naslund 15th, Eric O'Connor 16th, Sam Blackwood sadly finishes 72 laps down in 17th after that incident on the main straight. Pablo Schofer in 18th. Then the rest of the field in 19th, we got Manuel Gomez Esteban, who started last, up 4 spots, down 111 laps, didn't make the finish either. Taylor Mills, whose right side of the car completely destroyed and exploded on the front straight as well. Front straight really was home to some of the most action-packed stuff of the night. Thomas Glissens 21st, Carlos Espada 22nd, Brandon Robertson 23rd, and of course Jessica Saban, the admin, never took the green flag but still classified as 24th in the race. Alright, let's see if we can find anybody available for an interview. As we will just play the slideshow there. Let's see if anybody can talk to us. We've got Jesper with us, so we'll start off with the race winner. Hello Jesper, can you hear me?
Hey Julius!
Hello man, congratulations on the win. First win of the season. First of all, congrats. I don't know if I already said it, it's too hot, I can't remember what I said. But
sorry, I said Julius, I mean Julian, sorry. Of course.
That's why I was laughing, but oh well. Yeah. I don't know man, I don't even know where to start. There was so much chaos in the race, especially the 5 cautions in the beginning. Just talk me through the opening stages and then at the end, how on earth did you save the fuel to go the distance?
Yeah, I mostly agree with you there. It was I was maybe a bit too many cautions there, but I really enjoyed that last stint, obviously. I don't think it was that hard. I mean, I was in map 5, and then I just knew that I was good, and I kept decreasing to map 4 and map 3, map 2, and then there in the end, when I knew I was good, I was in map 1. Yeah, I don't know, I just ran, I guess.
So you were saving fuel from that last restart, basically? Yeah,
I was. I was actually saving fuel the entire race, because you can go maybe 7 or 8 laps longer if you're in map 5 compared to map 1, and those laps can be crucial because there might be a caution in between pit stops. So if you're in map 1 and full throttle, I mean, you have the risk of getting caught a lap down or 2 if the yellow comes out at the wrong time. And at the same time, I don't think you lose that much time with map 5 compared to map 1. Maybe you lose a 1/10 per lap, maximum 2/10 per lap. And actually, map 5 is better on the tires as well. So, a long run, a long stint, it's not that much of a difference pace-wise, I think. So, map 5 is definitely a track. This is a track where map 5 works for sure.
Well, you just gave me something that I'm going to keep in mind when I'm racing here at Iowa in the future. But talk me through the lap traffic. Was it any issue for you here tonight, or was it okay?
It was better than I was expecting, basically. I ran here 2 weeks ago in fixed and this week in open, and it's been quite bad. I mean, yeah, I understand some people are not as experienced as I am, obviously, on ovals, because I run a lot of ovals, as you guys know. I mean, the preferred line, obviously, is the low line. And when you're slower, when the car comes up to you from behind like that, the best thing for you is to go as high as possible, especially on exit. On exit, you want to stay as close to the wall as possible if you're a lapped car. Because the guy coming with speed, he's gonna understeer up a little bit from the apex, and sometimes it's kind of difficult to guess exactly where the lap car is. Okay, I'm in VR, so I can like look a little bit to the right and I see, okay, the car's there. So I would say for this race, there was only like a minor issue in the beginning of the race where there was this one lap car staying like in the third groove on exit. But like, I have to have that in mind, which I also had. So it was fine. And for the most part, everybody was doing a great job, to be honest.
Well, it was definitely a very entertaining race to watch. Once again, congratulations. I'm gonna head out because I'm sweating and I can't go any longer. I can't imagine what you're feeling when driving for an hour and a half. But anyway, go out and celebrate, man. We'll talk off the air, I guess. But gonna go off here. Don't want to do this any longer.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting this warm stuff from you guys tomorrow. It reaches Stockholm tomorrow, so today it's been decent, but tomorrow we're gonna go up there like to the 33, 34 mark. So yeah, it's well.
I gotta tell you, I'm in the attic. That's where my room is and where my setup is at. So I get all the heat from 2 floors downstairs. So it's next to impossible. So I've been commentating here for a good hour and a half or two. I'm done with it. I'm gonna sign out.
I understand that, but here up here it's dark and cold in the winter, so we'll take any warmth we can get. So I'm happy for tomorrow, and yeah.
Trust me, we had 40 yesterday. You don't want that. But anyway, you should go out to celebrate. Maybe get a couple of drinks. I don't know if you got work tomorrow. If you do, well, just do it anyway. And,
exactly.
We'll talk again soon, and see you at Imola next week.
Yep. See you, man. Thank you.
Bye. Take care. All right, like I just said, it's unbearable in my room to continue. So I'm sorry, I'm not gonna take any other interviews. I'm gonna go, but it was a great race to watch. Plenty of action all the way through the field. Just like we all expected at Iowa, plenty of different strategies involved too there at the end. Jesper saying it was a little bit easier than I thought personally to save the fuel, so great job to Jesper in the top 4 on doing that. Of course we saw a few people that couldn't, like Cabro, charge through the field at the end. But anyway, next week we go to Imola for the second road course of the season, the second F1 track I guess you could say. Then we go to Indianapolis, Mid-Ohio, Michigan, Pocono, and Road America. So that's the schedule. I want to thank Voppzy iRacing Paints for the graphics and the sponsorship of PMRL. Check it out on Instagram, Voppzy iRacing. And from my side, thanks everybody for watching. And we will